Hello everyone, it's Mel at Stocksbridge Guitar Tech. It's been a while since I've been on YouTube, but I'm back with you today. So a couple of weeks ago my mate Dave the Bass bought himself a new bass guitar. Decided to try a Harley Benton and he bought this. So this is a 25th anniversary Firemist model, and it's modelled after a Sandberg. Dave the Bass also has a Sandberg, so he's loaned me that as well. This is his Sandberg. Very nice guitar, pretty expensive guitar. He's had this a while. I think he paid about £1,200 for this, which is actually not bad for a Sandberg because they can get up in the thousands. This guitar, the Harley Benton, he paid £444 for, and this is the main guitar we're going to be looking at today. As you can see, the body wise they look quite similar shape. The headstock is bigger on the Harley Benton. Don't know if you can see that, but it is slightly larger. So it's longer. It's actually quite difficult for me to play this one because the frets are really wide. The neck on it just seems to go on forever. I'm at literally full stretch with this left hand arm when I'm playing down here, so this would not be comfortable for me to play. But my mate Dave the Bass is 6 foot plus tall, so he loves it. By the way, he tried it on a gig the other night. He said it sounded amazing. So this was £444. I've checked this morning, it's still that price on Toman. It is out of stock at the minute, and there's about a 3-month wait for one. So if you did want to get one, I'll just quickly go through the specs though on this guitar. So we've got an alder body. We've got a roasted maple, Canadian roasted maple neck and fingerboard. We've got Wilkinson hardware, so the tuners and the bridge, which seem very well made. A Wilkinson. We've got 2 Roswell pickups. These are active. They work actively or passively, I believe. So you do have to put a battery in there if you want to use the active. We've also got a Roswell EQ, active EQ system. So this is a treble control. This is a bass control. These controls basically just mirror the controls on the Sandberg. So we've got volume with a push-pull to split the coils. And we've got a balance control which balances between the pickups. These 3 have a centre detent, so you can feel when it's right in the centre. And when that's in the centre, it means that both pickups are on. And then we've got stainless steel frets. So some very nice hardware and stuff on this guitar, considering the price. £444, £1,200, and possibly more than that now. So I just thought I'd let you have a quick listen at the pair of them. Weight wise, there's not a lot in them, although this Harley Benton does feel slightly heavier to me than the Sandberg, but there's not a massive difference there. I think this thing looks amazing. It looks absolutely fantastic. It looks like a much more expensive guitar than what it actually is. Now, I'm not a bass player, as you know, So I'm just going to do some very quick comparisons. So let's have a listen at some sounds and then I'll give you my thoughts afterwards. So I'm starting off with everything in the middle, the balance, treble and bass, all in the middle, volumes up full. I'm just using a patch on the Ampero. I'm using the same patch for both guitars. This is what the Harley Benton sounds like with everything in the middle. And then if we turn the treble control fully up, turn the treble control all the way off, back in the middle, turn the bass control all the way up, and turn the bass control all the way off. Just put everything back in the middle again. And now, if I pull the volume control out to split the coils, so you can probably hear there is a bit of a volume drop. I've also noticed on the Harley Benton, when you split the coils, these bass and treble controls seem to have no effect. They don't seem to have much effect at all, but obviously when the control is all the way in and you're on humbucker mode, they do. So I don't know why that is, because I'm pretty sure that on the Sandberg those treble and bass controls work regardless of whether you've got the coils split or not. So let's have a listen at the balance control. So everything's back in the middle again. If I turn this balance control all the way off, so I think that's just giving me this middle pickup now. If we turn it all the way on, I think that's now just giving me the bridge humbucker. And back in the middle. So there are a lot of tones you can get by fiddling about with these three knobs, the balance, treble and bass. Not so much if you split the coils, but there you go. So same with the Sandberg, got everything in the middle at the minute, volumes up full. If I turn that treble control all the way up, turn it all the way off, do Do the same with the bass. Bass all the way up. Bass all the way off. Now I don't know how the camera's picking that up, but there's not as much volume difference when you're using the tone controls on the Sandberg as there is on the Harley Benton. So now let's split the coils. So that's with the coils split, that's full humbucker. And hopefully you can hear again, there's not much of a volume drop on the Sandberg when you split the coils. So the coils are split. And you can hear that the treble control is still functioning. As is the bass control. So for some reason the EQ controls don't work on the Harley Benton in split mode, but they do on this. Let's go back to humbucker. Everything in the centre again. Now we'll listen at the balance control. So it's in the middle at the minute. All the way to the left, which should be this middle pickup, I think. And all the way over to the right. And back in the middle. So everything just seems more level and even on the Sandberg than on the Harley Benton. You do get a lot of volume difference when you're messing about with the controls on the Harley Benton, much more so than on this Sandberg. I also prefer playing this personally. The frets don't seem as wide, especially as you're moving up the neck. So this just feels nicer for me to play with smaller hands, but the Harley Benton would probably suit someone with larger hands. My mate Dave the bass, he's well over 6 feet tall, so he's got big hands, and he loves the Harley Benton, and it is a great guitar for the money. But that's the two guitars sort of side by side. There we go, that's how the guitars sound. As I said, for me, I would find this pretty difficult if I had to play this. It's got a fatter, chunkier neck than the Sandberg, or that's how it feels to me. I find the Sandberg much easier to play. This neck doesn't seem as fat and chunky on the Sandberg as on the Harley Benton. And I'd be quite happy playing this, to be honest. The only bass guitar I own is my Hohner, I don't know how you pronounce that, violin bass, which is quite small for a bass and very light, which is why I like it. But I love this Sandberg, I love how it sounds, like the look of it, and it plays great. The action is a little bit lower on this than on the Harley Benton, so I might ask Dave if he wants that action lowering a bit, but he seems to be happy with it. Seems to suit him. Now when he did get the Harley Benton, when he did first get it, he brought it round to me because there was a bit of fret sprout on it, some sharp edges on these frets, so I've filed those down and dressed them. Feels great now. And there was some rattle on the lower two strings. That was due to some high frets. There was a few high frets on the guitar. Once I filed those down and recrowned them, that rattle vanished. So I haven't touched the truss rod or anything on the guitar because it seemed to be set up pretty well. And like I said, Dave seemed to like it that way. But when I've checked them today with my feeler gauges, the action at the 17th fret on this guitar is about 1 to 1.5 mil higher than on the Sandberg. It's not a massive difference, but there is a little bit of difference. This is slightly higher than on the Sandberg. But if you're a bass player and you're looking for what looks like a quality guitar to me, for not an awful lot of money, these are £444. Comes with a really nice padded gig bag, a really good one, not a cheap looking thing. I haven't got that here, but I have seen it, and it's a really nice gig bag. And it comes with a few other gimmicks, like a lanyard. What you'd want that for, I've no idea. It also supposedly has luminescent dot inlays, dot markers, but Dave said he struggled on stage the other night when he played it because it was a dark stage, and these things he was expecting them to glow and they didn't. It actually turns out that you have to have a light shining on them before they start to glow, which seems a bit Irish to me because, you know, not everybody carries their own lighting rig around with them. So he said he struggled a little bit there. So that seems a bit of a silly gimmick with the luminescent dots, but I don't know. Still a great guitar for the money. Quality hardware on it. The pickups, I would say the pickups are actually louder than the Sandberg. They sound okay. The only thing I don't like about it so much is there's so much variation in the volume, or it seems that way to me when you're using some of these controls. I would imagine you'd have to be very gentle and very careful and not turn them too drastically mid-song, or you'd probably find that your bass has disappeared completely or is blowing the back walls out. So that's just my own personal opinion, what I've found with it. But great looking guitar, great looking bass. What can you say? £444, which is kind of on the high end for Harley Bentons. But roasted maple neck, stainless steel frets, Wilkinson hardware, active electronics, fabulous bass. Anyway, that's all from me today. Hopefully I'll be back with another video for you shortly. Recently I've picked up a couple of items of Fender gear, second hand, so when I've got time I'll show you those and we'll have a look at those. But take care of yourselves. That's all from me today, and hopefully I'll see you in a couple of weeks or so. Bye for now.